The night may be long and the dark may be deep, but the answers are there to be found. Whether it's the normal, the abnormal, or the paranormal, you're in the right place. Let's go beyond reality. I'm always really excited for the first Thursday of every month. This is not only the first Thursday of January, but it's the
first Thursday of 2019.
Yeah, of the year. This is pretty exciting.
Amazing.
So Rebecca Foster, who will be doing readings with Rebecca tonight, will be extra on her game tonight because it's the first Thursday of the year.
And I'm actually going to be here tonight. I haven't been here like the last 2 times I think she's been on.
I know. You know she's a little worried about that.
Well, she should be. She deserves it. No, come on.
And of course, if you've heard Rebecca's shows previously, you know that she has a tendency to walk on Jason vocally. You both start talking. She's stomping all over you without regard for anything you have to say.
No, no common courtesy, nothing.
It's really a tragedy.
It's the Rebecca and Jim show.
No, I don't say anything. I just sit here quietly.
Yeah, you sit there because you don't want to be stepping.
I don't want to be involved either way.
No, I love Rebecca. She's awesome.
We have a great show coming up for you tonight. Of course, it will be readings with Rebecca, and we are going to start taking your calls immediately at 844-687-7669 if you want to have a reading from Rebecca Foster tonight. Also, you should know that tomorrow night is a best of program, as every Friday is. Next week, Mark Albert will be with us on Monday night to talk about his books, and then Tuesday we've got a pretty interesting show coming up.
We've got Randall Sullivan on, writer of the legendary Treasure on Oak Island. So we're going to be really talking about a lot of that, about pretty much the searches that have been going on for over 200 years, the rumored reward, and what's possibly at the bottom of this money pit, and just how many millions of dollars and decades of effort have really gone into this. And is it really, where does it come to a point where you've overspent what
the treasure
the worth is of what you find?
Yeah, well, the whole, if you're
you
watching,
don't spend $10 to find a penny.
Right. If you're watching the program, you know right now they're trying to excavate Smith's Cove, and they've built a cofferdam to keep the ocean water out. And that alone, that project, just this season, that one project in that one area on the island is over $1 million investment. So these guys have invested multi-millions of dollars, and you wonder if they actually find something.
Helped a little bit on that.
Well, I'm sure that's the case, but either way, the money has been spent, and you wonder what's if they find it, if it's going to be have that kind of value. Now, if it's the Ark of the Covenant or the Holy Grail or one of these deals, obviously you can't put a number on it. But man, if it's just one treasure chest with a bunch of jewels in it, it's going to be tough to match the amount of money that's been spent to find it.
Yeah, that probably wouldn't. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens, though.
I'm anxious to hear what Randall has to say because he's been following this thing for a long time.
Oh, good. I'm excited about it as well. Hey, if you haven't yet, make sure you head over to Facebook.com/Beyond Reality Radio. Like that Facebook page for us. Then head to BeyondRealityRadio.com, where you can find all the stations we are on across the country. You can also download the smartphone apps, which will allow you to listen live, catch past shows, and more. Or just any night we're live, just click the Listen Live tab, and you can listen right there from the website while browsing the rest of the web. If you download the show from iTunes or anywhere else, just take 2 seconds of your time and just rate it for us, because it helps push the show forward and makes it easier for people to find. And that's what it's all about, trying to get the word out. JV, you and I have talked about, I brought up that whole mysterious thing that's been going on in British Columbia and Washington with those human feet that have been showing up on show, right?
Yeah, has it just been feet or has it been other body parts? I know there's been feet.
Well, I can tell you, they found another foot.
Hey.
They found another foot. All right, so mysterious mystery surrounding severed feet that keep on washing up on shore on the Pacific Northwest was renewed this week when yet another bizarre body part was found along a beach in Washington State. The discovery was reportedly made by beachgoers visiting a site known as Jetty Island on Tuesday afternoon. They promptly called the police, who arrived on the scene to collect the work boot, which still contained the foot of its owner. Yeah, you heard that right, man. I think he's going to need that.
Well, it's kind of hard to get around without it. I just, you wonder, is this a mob deal? Is this some guy that was working on a ship somewhere and got his foot tangled in a rope and got pulled off by a wave? One of those things. One of those ships that shows up and the crew is completely gone. Where does this thing fall?
See, authorities are still waiting for official confirmation from a medical examiner as whether it's a real human foot, but most likely it's a safe bet to say that it is, since this is far from the first time that these body parts have been floating up on shore. The odd phenomenon began back in 2007 when 2 right feet were found over the course of a week on a beach in British Columbia.
Wasn't it 2 right feet that invented the airplane? No, it's 2 Wright brothers.
Two Wright brothers. Close, though. Yeah, close. But since that time, a steady wave of severed body parts turning up on beaches in the area. To date, Jim, 14 severed feet have been recovered on beaches in British Columbia and Washington. This is the 6th to be found. This is the 6th to be found in America.
I don't even know. I mean, have they DNA tested these things to figure out like what maybe the origin of the folks are? Have they tried to compare them to missing people?
I'm sure that really they're trying to keep some of that private.
Yeah, probably.
Just because, of course, because they don't know. This could be a serial killer. This could be something else.
Or somebody with a foot fetish. I mean, it could be anything.
If you ever watch the show Dexter, I mean, geez, he threw all the bodies over.
Right.
So
yeah,
there's a lot of craziness out there. Let's hope that they find some answers.
Yeah, I mean, there are times when, I think I smell feet, and then wonder if there's like, feet kicking around, or then I realize it's the dog.
Just a random foot in the corner.
Yeah, I don't know.
Somebody left their foot here, so I don't know how that goes. But hey, and also on another news is China has accomplished a historic feat yesterday.
Speaking of feet,
speaking of feet, when they became the first nation to land a craft on the far side of the moon.
Well, China has said that it wants to now be the dominant nation in space, and they've made some real efforts and real strides to get there, and this is one thing in that progress. It's one rung in the ladder. We need to pay attention to this stuff.
Well, and let's just be honest, they're incredible with taking electronics and just copying them, but also bringing them down into a smaller format and making them cheap. And I guess getting to the dark side of the moon only cost them like $14.73.
If they could do that for $14, sign me up.
But no, they did. They made it to the dark side of the moon. So they've got multiple cameras as well as spectrometers and other devices designed to measure various conditions on the moon, such as temperature, chemical composition of the ground, and radio telescopes. They've also brought plants up there to see
how quickly they die, because they won't last.
I mean, I don't think they took them out of it, but see how they grow while located on the lunar surface. Mm-hmm. Because God knows, I mean, the moon has some real fertile ground up there.
There are people who will come on the program. We've had several of them, and who will say that the American moon landings were a hoax. So I'm curious as to what those people think about this. Now, this isn't putting men on the moon. This is putting a kind of a probe lander on the moon, which is a little bit different. However, I'm curious as to what those folks would say about this particular landing, if it's real or if it's just some PR stunt.
Well, I mean, and China's really pushing to just become a space force out there. And the fact of the matter is, of course, this challenges what America, but we're so far ahead in that as it is right now. But of course, I mean,
well, I'm not sure
we're
are
coming out with that space force.
I'm not sure we are. That's the problem. I think that we've rested on our laurels for a very, very long time, and if we don't start becoming serious about looking at this technology and trying to accomplish some of these things, the Chinese will catch up. They've got money, they've got discipline.
They just hit the moon, though, and don't we have a
it's true,
but satellite that actually just left our solar system?
Yeah, we absolutely do. But if they're serious about it, we're using Chinese rockets to put our satellites in space at this point.
Absolutely.
Until SpaceX.
Half the time we got to actually hitchhike a ride to the space
center. Exactly. So we need to pay attention to this stuff. I mean, this is part of a national focus that I think we've been ignoring for too long. And for those of you who say, well, what's it worth? Spending billions of dollars to explore space. Well, when we spent those billions of dollars in the 60s, not only did we explore space, but we developed technologies that we all take for granted today. Things that help us in our daily lives. Computers are just one of those things.
Well, let's be honest. I mean, the way technology is going these days, it's terrifying to think of the damage that could be caused here on this earth. I think you need to explore space. You need to try to make sure that nothing's going to happen here, but you need to explore space for the possibility of the future of us having to leave here. Sucking all the resources out of this planet.
Well, what did we say yesterday? That the female Nostradamus had predicted by 50, whatever it was, we'll have a nuclearized colony on Mars that will declare its independence.
Independence from Earth.
Yeah.
And then shortly after, human immortality. But then after that, Earth will be
So it's
destroyed, and human immortality kind of sucks at that point, unless you're off this planet.
Right. All right. So, if the universe dies, it does. Guess it won't matter which planet it is at that point. We are going to continue to take your phone calls. So, if you're interested in getting a reading from Rebecca tonight, you need to call now at 844-687-7669. Just remember, the phones will be busy. You will get a lot of busy signals, but just continue to try, and hopefully you can eventually get through.
All right, we're going to take a break and come back with our guest, Rebecca Foster. You're listening to Jason and JV, Beyond Reality Radio. We'll be back after this.
Hey gang, JV here. You know that great nutrition can lead to a great life. Healthy, happy, rewarding. But that nutrition simply cannot be found in the foods we eat alone. Take a minute and assess your health, the way you feel, the way your family feels, the way your kids feel. Health is more than just feeling well. It's also making sure you have a strong immune system, especially in these trying times. Vitamins aren't enough alone. In fact, they have to be the right vitamins, the right supplements made from the most effective ingredients. Otherwise, they don't do the job. It makes the world of a difference. There's a new website you can visit that'll help you navigate these ideas and guide you to better health. There's no obligation. Just visit myhealthrocksnow.com. That's myhealthrocksnow.com and start feeling better today. The first Thursday of the month means it's Readings with Rebecca tonight.
Yes, it does. And it's always a great time. Rebecca, you with us?
I am with you guys. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Good. All right.
Rebecca, I've always got to ask you this because you have your calendar is always completely full. And we only have a couple minutes here before we have to jump to the next break. But what have you been up to since you've been on the program a month ago?
Well, I dazed out from like a week before Christmas until just a couple of days ago. So that was at least 2 weeks of complete, I have no idea. I lost track of time. But I know I've been working on booking events and just trying to get my calendar scheduled throughout the new year now, because everything just seems to compile so quickly. And I don't know, it's just been busy. Like tonight and then tomorrow night I have a private gallery on YouTube. And I'm working with American Legion in January as well and doing some work for them, but also doing galleries with the vets there. And so, yeah, I don't know. I'm just trying to fill the calendar.
Yeah, and you do that rather well. A couple of things. One is, as people call in tonight and you do readings for them, what do you need to hear from them before you start? We put them on the air. What do you need?
You know what? Just for somebody to just say hi. That's really all I need. And I guess for people to understand that those who've not heard what we do, you know, I'm not going to step on Jason tonight. I'm going to work really hard to keep my
No, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Well, see, Jimmy just toned you down. I'll just talk right over you. That's good. We got it all worked out.
Okay.
We have a plan. After people get a reading, or if people listening don't get through, or they want more information or whatever, what's the best way for them to follow up with you?
They can go to my site, RebeccaFoster.co. Email me there. They can find me on Facebook. It's easy. I'm pretty much... I'm findable via social media, so one way or another, my website or social media, Twitter, anywhere. Here on your page, people can locate me too.
All right, you're found all over the place. I know you have like 87 websites, so that should be pretty easy to find it. Listen, we have 3 minutes here. Let's try to sneak a call in first here. This is Joe from Indiana. Joe's a good listener to the program. Hey, Joe, welcome.
Hey, how's everybody doing tonight?
Good. Welcome to the show.
Hey,
hi, Joe. How are you? Don't answer that. Okay. So, Joe, the first thing that I see for you is that you look like you are walking up a set of stairs that it's almost like a set of basement stairs where it's dark and, you know, it's the creepy kind of behind where it's dark. It's a basement. and you're walking up the steps, and I can see from where I am standing that the light is on and the doorway is open at the top, and you are very focused on looking up. You're not looking behind you. You are not looking at what might be behind you. You're not even paying attention to me and my energy. And so this is very, and I guess a lot of times clothes and what people are wearing will make some kind of a point, but for you, you looks like you're wearing like cowboy boots and a pair of blue jeans and some kind of a plaid or a striped shirt. And you're walking up the stairs, your right hand is to your side, you're holding onto the rail as you go up with your left hand, and you're focused on looking up. So it's a regular flight of steps. So how many ever that would be, like 9 or 10, maybe more, and you're halfway up. So this is showing a point. Most basements, especially the one that I'm looking at here, they're darker, and they're old. This basement is old. So this is telling you that, one, you are moving up, you're halfway through a point or through a transition of getting away from something that has been holding you back. This could have been very much, it feels more relationship or personal than it does business related, and that you're halfway to the point of finally focusing on getting out of this depth or getting out of the transition of moving away from what has been holding you back. And this is a positive thing because you're, like I said, you're hanging on with your left hand, which means you're being more rational, you're being more thoughtful rather than allowing your emotions to drive or guide you. There's more of a thoughtful, critical thinking process here where it's a realistic thing rather than emotional or spiritual. You're really trying to focus on the earthly perspective of where do you go next? What do you do next? And this is positive. The only thing is that you're wearing those boots, and any kind of shoes represent the feeling of being held back or restricted. And so I can manipulate people when I'm reading, and remove certain things or put something on, but shoes are the one thing I can't take off because this is a mindset. And so you need to focus at some point on seeing something on your feet and repeatedly trying to take them off. And it feels like you just have to say, I need to cut this clean and I need to let go of this. It feels like this is just an attachment that you might be hanging on to for comfort. And once you let go, I will warn you that once you let go of this attachment, that whoever that is going to try to whittle their way back into your life, because it's almost as if it's an ego issue or an ego thing. Of trying to close a deal.
Yep. All right, let's go to Susan from Kansas City. Susan, you're on with Rebecca Foster. Hello.
Hi, thank you very much. I'd like to speak with Rebecca. I won't take any more time.
Hi, Susan. Well, you've got two things that are coming through for you, Susan. One, you have a gentleman around you that seems to be I don't know if you're sitting in like a squishy brown chair or a recliner, but he wants me to acknowledge some kind of a squishy rocker. And
okay. Doesn't rock, but I'm in a brown chair.
Okay, and he's with you. And then what he is trying to say, the second message that he is telling is that there are some you must be shorter. You must be a petite person. And the reason I say that is because he's saying that these blocks that have been placed in front of you recently have been like more of stumbling blocks than just little things to step over. And he's saying that every one that is placed in front of you has a lesson, but it's wearing on you and it's exhausting. And that it's kind of, instead of feeling like, woohoo, I just overcame something or I have achieved something, each block that's placed in front of you to get over is bringing you down more. And it's upsetting him because he wants to see this firecracker that he knows. And it's almost like when you're talking to yourself, he's trying to convey the message of to stop talking down to yourself. He wants you to stop telling yourself that you can't do this or you can't accomplish that. He wants you to start lifting yourself up and the answers to why, because he's saying, because you ask questions like why, and there's there's several answers, and I don't want to be vague, and I know I don't have much time, but it's kind of to summarize those several answers is that one, everything has its time and its place, and that it's not just happening. Things are not just happening to you. He's saying not to worry about the money. He's saying don't worry about the money. Don't worry about it. It's okay. And then something about having to, I don't know if it's a bill or something that's due to close something, like a doorway closing on something. And he is saying that the deadline or the door closing on something is going to be met and everything's going to be okay with that. And that you are capable. Like, it's almost as if you keep asking yourself, well, how am I going to do this? I don't know if you have a disability or if there is you have a difficult time getting around, but he's saying that it's going to be okay, that it's all going to work out, to kind of lift your spirits.
Okay.
Does that help, Susan?
Great. Yes, it did. Thank you very much.
Great. Thank you very much for the phone call. Let's continue and go to Stephanie. I think it's Stephanie, although it's not spelled that way, in Washington. Is your name Stephanie by any chance?
Yes, it's Stephanie.
Right, because it's spelled Stephine in my notes here. But hi, Stephanie. You're on with Rebecca.
Hi.
Hi, Stephanie. How are you?
Good.
I'm walking behind your energy. So you are on a pathway. I'm walking behind you. And like me, you're eating something. I don't know what it is, but you're eating something. And I can smell it. It's sweet. It almost has like a sugary smell to it, like cotton candy. So you're walking ahead of me. You're barefoot. Your right hand, you're eating something. The pathway is very defined. Like I can see very well this is a straight path. There are no exits, so there is no distraction. There's nothing that is going to try to pull you off into a different direction. And so first off, before we run out of time, barefoot means nothing is holding you back right now. That anything that you try to achieve, you can do that right now. People and situations are not going to stand in your way. They're not going to say, Stephanie, you can't do that. You're going to be able to say, I want to do that, and I'm going to make it happen. Those are the basics of this path right now. There's nothing on the ground. It feels almost like a squishy, soft sand that you're walking on. You have capri pants in it, so the clothes don't really matter. But you're eating this sugary thing, this candy of some kind. So, and you're humming. You're very confident in the way you're walking, almost like, okay, I've got my walk down. I know where I'm going, and I can't see anything ahead. So this also tells me that you would have had I would want to say like maybe the last 2 to 3 years would have been a difficult walk. You would have had a lot to tie off. And so that last 2 to 3 years would have just culminated, manifested, and you would have tied it off. And so this represents this brand new fresh walk that you kind of have an extra step, an extra bounce in your step, the way you're walking, because you don't have all of this extra weight behind you and you're not carrying these extra burdens. The fact that I can't see anything in front of you also says that you are writing things right now. So all good or bad has your signature on it. So be careful of what you do, because you're going to have to take responsibility for most of the things that happen. Well, everything, really, but they're just saying be careful in how you choose right now, because you are pretty much writing it all as you go. Interesting. Okay. For me, that's interesting, because most of the time I can see the things in the future. I can see the pinpoint. But for you, it's very dark. So it's basically saying that as you make your choices right now, it's like a free will thing going on. And although you have a contract, you may even feel like you're in a bit of limbo. So,
Stephanie, are you from Washington, D.C. or Washington State?
Washington State.
All right. Well,
find any feet recently?
Any feet washing up on the shore there?
I mean, geez, okay.
No, but
what?
I'm right near the ocean, so, it may happen.
Yeah, keep an eye out.
I mean, they found about 6 of them in that area so far. So
thanks so much for the phone call, Stephanie. We appreciate it. Rebecca, a lot of times when we have people on the program that do readings for folks, they say, okay, we want you to ask a question, and then they respond to the question. How is it and why is it that you don't wait for the caller to ask a question? What are you reading?
I don't want to know what they want to know. I want to answer their questions before they ask them. And I want to be that person that they don't have an explanation for as how I do what I do. And so I don't want to be led into a person wanting to talk to, somebody who's just passed over or that they're losing their job. I don't want to know any of that. And so if it comes through, then it's a true reading. And that's just basically how I've trained myself to do it. I don't want to know anything at all.
But what if one of the questions they're looking for an answer to isn't something you actually give them the information on?
Well, a lot of times, especially in these short readings that we're doing, it's not so much what people want to hear, it's what they need to hear to help direct them back on their path or to help guide them with what they're doing. And so for instance, this is very quick. It's what you need to know right now. It's the most important thing. That's what your guides are going to give me. If I'm doing a 15-minute reading for someone, it's a compact reading. So I will ask them, do you have a general area? Do you want me to focus more on the spiritual things, or do you want me to focus on earth, which involves like money, finance, career, relationships, health? And so it gives me an idea where to focus my energy. Otherwise, I'll just go lollygag and wander around their energy and take my time. But when it comes down to something like that, I would prefer to make sure that it's worth a person's while. Do they want earth or do they want spirit? This is just fun. This is just what people don't expect sometimes.
And once again, if you're trying to get through or you want to know how to get through, the number's 844-687-7669. Let's go to Chris, who's calling from somewhere in New York. Hi, Chris. Welcome to the program.
Hi. Happy New Year.
Thank you.
Hey, Happy New Year. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Hi, Rebecca.
Hi, Chris. Okay, so, it's funny. People must be really worried about money because I'm not sure why, but it's one of the things that keeps coming through where I'm hearing, don't worry about money and don't worry about finances. And that's so funny because it's real. Money it's something we need, but it's just, I don't know. It's funny for it to be coming through so strongly that people will be worried about it. So I'm kind of pulling that back as I don't want to talk about. I mean, yeah, they're just telling you not to worry about it, but I don't think that's one of the bigger things. It may be something that you are worried about. The next thing that they're talking about is travel, and they're telling me to tell you that don't turn down the opportunity to go somewhere or to travel, which you may do. You may say, I can't because I don't have the money, or I shouldn't because I don't do that. They're saying that you need to try to plan some form of travel. There also feels like there's a daughter or young female around you that would be involved with this as well. And then it also is saying that you've got a baby girl that's going to be coming into your life. So this would be a child that maybe you don't know is somebody's pregnant around you right now, but there's a baby girl that's going to be coming down. There's an aunt. I think this is an aunt with an F. I don't know if it's like a Flo or Francis or something, but it sounds like an F. And going to be releasing a child from the chutes pretty soon. So there's a female around you, young female around you, who's going to be having a baby girl. So I don't know if she knows she's pregnant already. Is there like a J sound around you that I'm supposed to acknowledge? But it sounds like a lot of blessings and just you like not worrying, having faith and trusting and kind of going with the flow. It looks like there are going to be so many places. I'm looking at everything going, well, she really doesn't have anything to worry about. They're just saying, don't worry, play it by ear, enjoy your time, and then you're going to have enough that it's going to reground you with this child around you, or this joy that's going to be coming with that. Looks like a female, with a brown hair, straight brown hair. Mm-hmm. So hopefully that makes some sense to you. And
Yes.
I'm looking for anything that's bad, and I don't see it. I don't see it. Not that you're
good.
boring.
Yeah, Chris,
Not
that's
that you're boring.
that's the reading I want to have when I call next time.
Yeah, me too. Thank you.
Well, you just had it, so you're lucky. Thanks for the phone call, Chris. All right, we have to take a phone call. Again, the number's 84 or phone call. We have to take a break. The number's 844-687-7669. Hey gang, JV here. You know that great nutrition can lead to a great life. Healthy, happy, rewarding. But that nutrition simply cannot be found in the foods we eat alone. Take a minute and assess your health, the way you feel, the way your family feels, the way your kids feel. Health is more than just feeling well. It's also making sure you have a strong immune system, especially in these trying times. Vitamins aren't enough alone. In fact, they have to be the right vitamins, the right supplements made from the most effective ingredients. Otherwise, they don't do the job. It makes the world of a difference. There's a new website you can visit that'll help you navigate these ideas and guide you to better health. There's no obligation. Just visit myhealthrocksnow.com. That's myhealthrocksnow.com and start feeling better today. And one more time, give out your website because there are always people that can't get through or people that want some more detail if they've had an opportunity to chat with you a little bit.
Sure. It's easy. It's RebeccaFoster.co. So it's just C-O,
yeah,
not
C-O.
.com.
Not com, but C-O. All right, let's go to Sarah. Sarah's in Toronto. Hey, Sarah, welcome to Beyond Reality Radio. You're on with Rebecca.
Hi, thank you for taking my call. Happy New Year, everybody.
Hey, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Happy New Year to you, too. Okay, Sarah, so the first thing that your guides are showing you is that you're on a beach. And the beach is basically where I like to go first. Sometimes I don't always make it there. But the beach represents safety, security, and grounding. It represents a person's feeling of comfort in what's going on in their life right now. And you are standing, you've got like a long duster on, so it's just like a protection, and you've got it kind of closed and you've got your arms closed and you are water to your left. You kind of are turned a little bit towards the water, looking that direction. Yet you are, and you're barefoot. You're not attempting to go out on the water. You're not looking for anything. So what this says is that, one, you are, nothing is holding you back, either as far as a person or a situation goes. And that there is, at the same time, this feeling of comfort or just, maybe that's the right word, comfort, happiness of being on your beach. At the same time, I'm watching you, and you're not trying to get out on the water, which would represent like trying to find new opportunities or bring things back to your life that would change or improve or just create more growth. It's as if, I don't want to call it resignation, but it's at the same time, it's like you're dealing with, for instance, if somebody loses their spouse and they have this loyalty still, of course, to their spouse, and they're not exactly happy, yet they don't want to go out and start new things. And it's that kind of a thing, almost as if you're at a stalemate, as if you are just trying to figure out with everything that you've created and built and love and that you've chosen, and there still looks like there's something might be missing. And at the same time, you're not really ready or wanting to go out on the water and experience all of these new opportunities. So you really have to look at things and go, what is it that you want? Especially just let's say right now, 2019, what is it that you want? And what is it that you want to feel and experience? And then attempt to paint that picture as to what you have to place in it to make those things happen. And some of them may be uncomfortable, but discomfort a lot of the times creates growth. And so you want to do those things for yourself because there is this beauty around you, and it's a contained bright light. Let me just put it that way. Where you would normally attract a lot of people to you, right now you're there's this humility about you that you are bringing your lights in. So not so much to attract the people to you. And I'm thinking that needs to shine brighter because there's purpose to that. So Sarah, for 2019, just think that far ahead. That's it. And think of how you want your picture to look. and then go and get those things. And those resources may already be within your grasp. You don't have to make major changes to do those things. So I hope that makes sense to you.
It does, actually.
Good,
Sarah. Good. That's so what we like to hear. And a couple of things about that. One is sometimes Rebecca will do a reading, and the person she's doing the reading for will not quite understand it at the moment. But then a month later, 6 weeks later, or longer, it doesn't matter. Some time period after that, it will suddenly make sense. And you have to remember that. Rebecca, we don't have time to take a phone call here, but we will take more on the other side of the top of the hour break. We have a whole another hour worth of this. But yeah, before we do that, one of the things I noticed on your website is that you actually say on the website if someone needs help with with some type of law enforcement issue. 30 seconds. What are you talking about there?
Well, I've helped quite a few situations where a person has been missing or they've been kidnapped or murdered, and I've helped the police to find either the person or the person who did it. And it's been through both the energy of the people who have passed or, let's say, an animal that witnessed it, because I can communicate with animals. So if an animal just happens to be standing there while someone's being kidnapped or murdered, they will give away a lot of information. So that's pretty much how it happens. And I don't do all of them. If I am hit with something, I will call the police and give them some information. Of course, they whack job. But at the same time, I have to do it. I'm compelled. So I will help whenever somebody comes and asks. And I will also decline if I'm not getting anything that is actually going to help them.
I'm really surprised you haven't said anything about the Santa on my microphone here.
Chosen not to. I've seen it, and you kind of do some odd things sometimes. I mean, so I let it go.
Well, I thought it was kind of Christmassy to put him on the microphone.
Christmas is like 360 days away now.
It's true. However, when I put him on here, I thought it was kind of a Christmassy thing to do. It was kind of cute. But then as time went on, I realized he looks kind of compromised in the position that he is on this microphone mount. It's probably not something we want to see Santa actually doing. It's kind of an awkward position for him now that I look at it a little more closely.
Yeah, that's definitely an awkward position. Yeah, I got to give you that.
Maybe we'll have Slick take a picture of this.
No, you probably shouldn't.
And post it on the Facebook page so people can see what we're talking about.
Shouldn't.
Yeah,
I mean,
no,
it just doesn't. It doesn't look right. It looks like
bad.
It should be on one of those pay sites. Put it that way.
Right. Or, yeah. Okay. Well. All right. We'll give that one some thought. Welcome to the program, everyone. It's Beyond Reality Radio with Jason and JV, and tonight is the first Thursday of January. It's also the first Thursday of 2019, and if anything is true these days, it's the fact that time flies by so fast. We're already almost at 2020. I don't even get it. That was a TV show at one point. It's all it meant to me.
Yeah, it's time has gone by extremely fast, and I'm hoping this winter goes by even faster. Let's get right back to summer.
Yeah, well,
maybe that's what it is. We're wishing for winter to be gone so fast that we just end up straight to summer,
and then summer so quick that we're right back in winter.
Exactly. I need to live in a place that's summer year round.
Yeah. I'd like to be sick of nice weather at some point in my life, because I never get that opportunity in upstate New York.
Yeah, I want to be able to deal with snow when I want to deal with snow.
Right, exactly. Have complete control over when you have to do that. The phone number, if you want to get involved in our readings tonight with Rebecca Foster, is 844-687-7669. Now, Rebecca, you got scolded a little bit there because you were trying to post domain names in the chat, but it wouldn't let you. But I'll let you right now tell people what your website is.
Sorry, I was trying to help Lalanya. She was basically just saying the God's tool that Jason likes to make fun of about God's tool.
Oh, it's God's tool. Wait. Hang on. This is new to me. It's God's tool, not God's stool.
Right, and it's
gotcha.
funny. It
totally
must
means
be
something
just a
different.
Roto-Rooter guy thing, because my brother over Christmas, he also works for Roto-Rooter, and he was like, "So what's with God's stool?" And I said, Jason made fun of the same exact thing. It must be like a plumber's thing. It's got to be.
I think it's just a guy thing in general.
I think it is too. I saw the
toilet thing.
I mean, Jimmy's not even a plumber, and he's thought the
I
same
didn't even
thing.
play one on TV.
Yeah, exactly.
So that, and I know that also Groucho Marx has a famous joke where he wrote that Peter O'Toole has a double phallic name. So, there's anytime you start talking about that word, you get into that dangerous territory. We're not trying to make fun of you, Rebecca. It just was pointed out.
No, I don't take it as that.
All right.
No, that's good because you open yourself up for it. So, no, I'm just kidding.
All right, let's go to our listeners. We've got a number of them on hold, and if you're trying to get through, be patient because it will take some time to get through. This is Victoria in Wisconsin, a good friend of the program. Hey, Victoria, welcome to the show.
Hey, guys. Happy New Year.
Hey, Happy New Year. Welcome to the show.
Your voices. Thank you. Hi, Rebecca.
Victoria. Okay. The first thing that I'm seeing for you is a dog that is all like licking your face, like jumping up on you, licking your face. And it's got it almost resembles, because all I'm seeing is the head portion, and I'm thinking, wow, that looks like a boxy nose, like a schnauzer or something with the fringe that hangs down. But it's all like licking your face. This also looks like it's either creamy colored or silver. I'm really bad with dog fur, but this is an animal that I'm believing is passed over, and also wants me to talk about a dual colored ball, so half and half, a two different colored ball. And I don't know if I should be telling you this because I don't know if I'm giving something away, but I'm also seeing a ring on your finger, like a ring finger, like an engagement or something to that effect. That I don't know if I'm supposed to tell you that, but they're showing it to me, so I'm telling you that. And okay, let me clarify this. The ring finger shows commitment, and after they're showing that, the next thing they place in front of me to explain to you is that there's going to be an offer of commitment or a way that you're going to have to commit yourself to something, but at the same time, you're faced with a choice in your path that's going to ask you to go one way or another, and that will actually kind of rub against or cause an issue with a commitment that you would have to make. And I can't tell you what to do. All I can do is tell you that you're going to have this opportunity. And when it comes to those that we commit to, either through employment or spouse or relationship, family, the ones that are meant to be are going to be at the end of the road after you've experienced what is placed in front of you, because God does not place things in front of you to say, well, you have to make a choice between someone you love and something you want. He doesn't do that. It's those that are meant to be in our life will always find a way to stay. Just the same way as a woman's going to figure out how to buy a $250 purse if she wants it, and that's just the truth. But basically saying there's going to be commitment things and there's going to be opportunities that you're going to want to take, because those opportunities may never come again. And those that you're committed to will find a way around that are supposed to be. So hopefully that I just made sense. I didn't confuse you, but that's kind of to help guide you in what's coming up.
Victoria, you got a reading a few months ago, and you had called back, and I believe you had said that it didn't make sense to you at the time, but then like a month later, it all made sense, right?
Yeah, there was something Rebecca mentioned, sort of like a scene that she's seen, and I kind of felt that moment, and kind of clicked that moment that, oh, wait, didn't Rebecca say something like this was going to happen? I kind of pieced it together. Today, I'm not sure where to go with this information. I'm kind of lost, I guess, and nervous now.
Don't be nervous.
Okay.
It's kind of like a guide to say, so when you're standing there and you're going to go, oh my gosh, what do I do? Do I turn this down because I may lose something that I really am committed to? No, because what is meant to stay with you is going to. So.
Okay. Well, thank you so much.
Victoria.
I will definitely keep my eyes open.
Thank you for the phone call. Rebecca, did you say during that discussion that people that are meant to stay in your life will find a way to do that?
Yes. Yep.
Was that a message specifically for Victoria, or is that something that you believe is true for everybody?
Well, I would think that's true for everyone, but it's right now, this specific situation, it's true for her. And so it's not like it's something that we always focus on, but that will be a part of her decision making when it comes to, do I stick with what I'm committed to, or do I do what is opportunistic for me?
Right.
And so that is part of the message, to let her know that don't make that a deciding factor not to do something, because this situation will find its way to follow through with what you're doing. Wow.
All right.
I'm sorry.
What?
I have 3 lights just flew past my head, one
wow.
after another, and that I was watching them out of the corner of my eye, and it just came very close to my head just now.
That's one of the things that happens when we have Rebecca on the program as well. All right, let's continue with our phone callers. This is Sharon. Sharon is also in New York. Hi, Sharon. Welcome to the program.
Hi. How is everybody?
Good. Welcome to the show.
Yes, thank you. Hi, Rebecca.
Hi, Sharon. So, Sharon, what's coming through for you right now is actually, I think, more of a message for, I think this would be a spouse, that not so much for you, but you're kind of the connector to this individual, that they are, it looks like there's a job change or a question of job change around this individual. And see, your energy is kind of like, you go where you're needed. So you don't have this issue of being transplanted. You find a way, and you are more fluid, like water, where you can be picked up and moved, and you'll fit into whatever situation. You'll make everything work. And the difference here that I would think balances you out with this individual, if it's either spouse, so they don't differentiate between marriage and boyfriend or girlfriends, it's a relationship. And so what balances you out is, this would be something that he would find to be like personal, like he's going to be taking something personal as far as having to change. And so you are going to have to be very, I think the best way to put it is positive, and not in a joking way. I don't know if he's going to have the ability to joke about things and matters coming up. And so I think that the normal banter that would happen between the two of you, that's just a natural dynamic, is not going to work in this situation, because he's going to be taking something as a personal failure. It also looks like his father is around him. And so this is like, he's being shoved in a direction. This father figure is pushing him, saying, no sitting down right now. You have to keep walking. You have to keep going. This is not the end of this situation. This is the beginning of this situation. So what he sees, is there like a Ken or a Kevin or something? Because I keep hearing a K sound, but he's saying what you think is a failure or an ending is actually what the beginning is of this new situation. He's like shoving him forward, saying, no funk. You can't get into a funk. No down, no beating self up. And so you're going to be like an earth angel around him. Oh my gosh, did it again. Like an earth angel around him, helping him through this.
Okay.
The night always goes really, really quickly when we have Rebecca on.
Well, because we barely talk. We just sit here.
Yeah, that's true.
I think that's probably it.
I think you're right. I think that is what's going on here. Anyway, let's go to Julianne, who's also in Washington. Hi, Julianne. Welcome to the program. You're on with Rebecca.
Hi. Hey. Rebecca.
Yes.
When I bought your book, if this rings a bell, yes. You wrote, when you are unsure, just look to the right and see your garden full of flowers. This is where you will pull your strength from.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Do you remember that
I do.
Where the strength comes from?
I'm sorry?
And that Do you remember talking to me about that? I know you read lots of people.
Yeah,
Yes,
Julian, where were you that you bought the book?
I ordered it off from her site. It's wonderful. I'm going to get a few more and give them as gifts.
Oh, terrific. Terrific.
Thank you.
We want Rebecca to be able to get your reading in here. We only have a couple minutes for the break,
Okay.
so go ahead, Rebecca.
So, Julie, what the first thing that I saw for you is that you are, it's 1, 2, 3, like 4 logs wide. You're on a raft. And so you're out in the water. And so it's not wavy. It's sunny. You actually look like you're kind of laying back and relaxing. It's a more of like a contemplative state. And you are anchored, so you're not floating freely. You have your right fingers, or your right arm is down, but your right fingers are kind of just dangling in the water, not so much in the water wholly, but touching it. So what this represents is that you are in a position right now where you may not be feeling completely grounded or feeling completely secure because you're out on the water. However, you're on a boat, which keeps, or a raft, and it keeps you from getting in the water, from completely feeling engulfed in problems. And it's anchored. The anchor always represents God or spirit, and it represents him basically saying, I've got you. So you can be out here afloat, you can be trying to figure things out, and you may be feeling lost at the moment, but I have you securely stationed right here. You're not going into any deeper water. When you're ready to get on the beach, we'll go to the beach. And then you've got your fingers a little bit in the water. So it's your right hand being your emotions, your spontaneity, your risk side. And the fact that you're testing the water with those fingers represents the fact that those may be right on the fringe of just feeling overly emotional, or maybe not understanding, like, why am I being so emotional or crying or weepy, or, you know, what is the deal going on? And so it's a time right now for you of realization. And so realization meaning you want to really focus on anything that you're feeling and experiencing, being that it's your right hand that's in the water. And you want to pull those things out and say, okay, this pain or this anxiety, this right here, this is Joe's, and this is what Joe did, or this is what happened with Joe. And then you want to kind of watch it go up in flames, and then watch the ash settle, and then blow it all away. It's kind of a ritual that you can actually do to help manifest release. And I think once you're able to let go of things that are not yours, that you did not put your signature on, that you can't not accept responsibility for, once you do that, I think you need to get back on your beach and really go wander around like you haven't been there before. Like for the first time, look at everything again, like with new eyes, and see what you can discover with what you have already going on in your life. You don't have to seek it out. It's already there.
Tuesday night, we're going to be talking all about Oak Island, Jay.
Yeah, with Randall Sullivan, the writer of The Legendary Treasure on Oak Island. We're going to be talking about, well, just the 200-year search that's been going on there, the rumored reward, what's possibly at the bottom of the money pit, and, well, just, you know, this thing swallowed millions of dollars, and is the fine going to actually be worth it? So if there is anything to find.
Yeah, and I know Randall has also interviewed the Lagina brothers, who are the brothers that are the ones behind the search and the television show The Curse of Oak Island that's on the History Channel currently. And I know they're tough guys to interview. I know we've actually tried to get him on the program here, and they're just not available for interviews. So the fact he's talked to him, it should be pretty cool.
Yeah, so we're looking forward to that show. But tonight, we are hanging out with our good friend, Rebecca Foster, and she's doing readings, and the number is 844-687-7669.
Yeah, and should I ask you what all that motion was that you were trying to show me there, Rebecca? Did something happen to your face? What's going on with that?
No, I had an itch and I itched my face. But you can itch a scratch. What is it? You could scratch an itch, but you can't itch a scratch. And I forgot the puppy had like scratched me down my face. So I was like, "Youch!" And it.
I thought you were going to tell me because you had seen those lights going by your head that one of those lights actually scratched you, which is would have been kind of interesting. That your story was kind of boring, but the other one would have been.
I mean, your story last night with the spider coming down in front of your face was more interesting, Jim.
All right, so let's go to our phone lines. By the way, if you're on hold, be patient. We're trying to get to all the calls. This is Chris in New York. Hey, Chris, welcome to the program.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Hey, welcome to the show.
Rebecca, thank you. Rebecca, I was curious about what my outlook is for 2019.
Well, Chris, I can tell you the first thing that they're showing is you are turned around and you have this rope around your waist, and it's a hefty rope. It's a big rope, and it's tied and you're pulling. I don't know what exactly you're pulling because it seems like it's almost out of my perspective, but you are leaned back and pulling on this rope. So from my stance, you're on your beach. I can see you're kind of digging down into the sand. It's like leaving a trail, the weight of the pressure that you're putting. So, and it's dark. I can't see out onto the water. And what's interesting is that you're talking to yourself as you're doing this, and you are saying, no, you're arguing with it, going, no, I have to get this done. I have to do this. Almost as if something is trying to talk you out of something. So my advice to you, I mean, I always tell people this, but for this particular situation, especially the beginning of 2019, especially the beginning of a new year, that if you want to make sure you're only paying attention to and listening to anything positive, anything good. Don't listen to anything that counters what you are supposed to do or that you're passionate about. Make sure that if you're feeling the need to complete something, even though you're hearing, oh, forget it, don't worry about it, don't listen to that. Make sure you're listening to what you're compelled to do that's positive, that lifts you up, only if it's good. And I will, I'm looking at this thinking, year 2019, see, you're a person who's very giving, and I think that you really need to spend this time right now discovering and finding out really who you are, so that when you enter into the new things for 2019, you're not going to be disappointed. And I think part of the disappointment for you is that you constantly give 110% of yourself and you're not getting that reciprocated from the people around you. So I'm going, you really don't have close friends and people that you trust around you that you can share things with. And that's part of the best parts of relationships, where you can laugh and people know your dirty little secrets. And it just makes the intimacy so special between friends and family and loved ones. And so what they're saying for you is this heavy thing, this burden that you're carrying, it really comes down to you finding yourself, so that when you meet people and you come into contact with new situations and individuals, that you are actually walking your own path, and you are not, because it's your nature to just generously give of yourself. I don't think you ask much ever in return. And to some people, they're not ready for that. They just can't handle that. And so what you need to figure out is, how do you become 100% so that you don't take those people and try to carry them or pick them up off of their own path? Because some would take that as just, they can't handle that closeness. So by solving the problems, removing this thing that you are burdened to carry, let it go and just figure out exactly who you are and who you want to be, and manifest those things and see those as your goal. Don't look at anything in the past. Nothing in the past matters at this point. It all matters about how you view the future. And just, I think, loving yourself first, not anybody else, but yourself first. That will make your 2019 awesome.
Chris, thank you so much for the phone call. We're going to have to kind of move through these a little quickly so that we can get everybody in who's been waiting on hold tonight. This is Betty, who's in Buffalo. Hi, Betty. Welcome to the program.
Hi, thanks for taking my call.
Hey, Betty. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Hi, Betty.
Hi, Rebecca.
So, hi. You have a bit of caregiver going on. You're standing on your beach, and you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The fifth one is leaving. So you've got all of these boats lined up, and they're not just little boats. They're like little makeshift pirate ships, and they're all anchored to your beach, and you have like a little clipboard, and people are coming off of the water and onto your beach, and you're like, okay, you're in one, and you're sending these people off in these little boats. What this tells me is that you're some kind of healthcare or caregiver of some form. So either you're in nursing or you are in a position where people are, regardless of what you're doing, that people are coming to you for help, advice, guidance, and I want to say support. And above all things, I mean, you could be just sitting, checking people into a tire store, and you'll start to strike up conversations with people, and they'll just start talking to you. So what is happening is these people are coming in who are drowning, who are suffering, and they're getting onto your beach, and you are putting them into a vessel that is going to allow them some hope to get out on the water and see what they're capable of. And so you have this this natural, innate part of who you are to counsel and to lift up and give hope, almost to ministering to people. And so regardless, if you're asking yourself, what am I doing? Like, what is the purpose of my life? What's going, part of it is the fact that regardless of what you do as a paid career in life, much of your purpose in this life is ministering to and taking care of other people, helping to give them hope, turn them around. And I want to say save them in a way too. I think there's more people that you've saved than you realize. And you're stern too, because you're like, you have to bring that back. You cannot have that boat. That's mine. I'm letting you borrow it. Bring it back. And so you're not an enabler either. You are someone who is stern with people, and you don't sugarcoat things. So if you've been asking yourself, what am I supposed to do? What am I doing? This is part of it, is part of your mission here, is giving up. Oh my God, my cat just gave me a heart attack. See him out of the corner of my eye coming running at me. I just almost died. But so that's part of your purpose. I think you're supposed to know that. And you've got support too. Somebody, I don't want to go on to another reading, but you've got a gentleman with what looks like a bunch of daisies of some kind, or a black centered, yellow petaled flower coming up behind you with a whole bouquet. So it's a tall gentleman with these flowers, black center, yellow petals.
Wow, I had daisies in my wedding.
Oh, wow.
Daisies. Very cool.
Yeah,
I don't know if
that
they're
was
daisies.
like 48
I'm really
years
good.
ago.
Wow. 48
That's
years
just
ago?
my dad.
Yeah. Well, Betty, thank you so much for the phone call. Sorry, we're going to run out of time, so we just have to move on. Again, if you want more from Rebecca, you can go to RebeccaFoster.co and contact her privately, or do it on the Facebook page. Here is Jennifer in Kansas City. Hi, Jennifer. Welcome to the show.
Hi. Hi, Rebecca.
Hi, Jennifer. So, wow, you have so much going on. You are standing, I just have to quickly summarize this. You're standing in a clearing, and forest all around you. You're by yourself. I think this is hugely symbolic of what is happening in your life, or what has happened, to where you are either feeling alone, or you are in a situation where you're looking around going, okay, where am I, and where are the people, like, who am I going to rely? There's no one. It's like there's this solitary thing going on. And then I'm standing behind you, and in front of you there is off to about 1 o'clock, there's a pathway through this forest. So let me just explain this. A forest represents a godly squish. So basically you are put through, and you've probably been going through it, and now you've got a break. and there's a young man around you, I think, that's coming through that is passed over. He wants me to talk about a vehicle or a car breaking down too, so I'm thinking maybe you have car problems right now or there's a car issue, but he's talking about a car not starting or breaking down, having to have some work on it. So back to what I was saying, the forest represents a time where basically God is going to take you and you are going to be squished. It's a pressure. It's a spiritual pressure to transition and change who you are walking into who you are going to be when you come out. And it's the time when you really do end up on your knees going, I can't do this anymore without you. And it's a time of letting go of your own free will, of your own ego. And it's when he says, okay, and he picks you up and he goes, now I can mold you into who I need you to be. And it really feels like you're going to have some tough love around you, as if you're going to have to be firm and really strong with people around you and family, and not let them see that it's just as hard on you to have to be a certain way where tough love is concerned. And so it's a time where you're going to have to be strong and not, cheers of a clown. So smiles and strong face, and then when nobody's looking, then you can go have a cry in the corner. But it's a time where you're going to have to put on a facade almost so that you can get a good point across, and also to help people where you wouldn't if you were highly emotional. So gosh, you got so much going on. So much going on.
Jennifer, thank you for the phone call. Let's jump to Faith in Buffalo. Hey, Faith, welcome to the show.
Hello.
Hey, welcome to the show.
Hi, Rebecca.
Hi, Faith.
Hi.
You have such a mellow energy. It's a homebody kind of an energy. It's a questioning energy. And I'm basically picking you up and moving you around the beach area, like almost as if you've lost the person that you always would talk to or share with or call. And so now who do you share and call and talk to? It's I'm dropping you in different places, and there's almost a bit of that disconnect from things. So you may even be feeling a little down or depressed. And it is the perfect time of year for that anyway. But it's just a disengaged, where you're not getting excited about the water or opportunity. You're not excited about what's in front of you. You're kind of just like Eeyore, like ho-hum, just that's how it looks. And so what they're basically trying to tell me to tell you is that you need to recognize why. And sometimes it's very hard because we don't know exactly what has created a certain moment or a behavior, but acknowledging how you feel verbally to self is one way to figure out what exactly is going on. And I'm looking going, this is not, you look more introverted or shy in the first place. So you're not someone to walk in and go, hey, I'm here. You're not, that's not going to happen. You've never been that type of person. So it's not that you need people around you. It is definitely, though, a time for your self-recognition. It's a time for you to realize, okay, this is how I'm feeling. Even if it's not happy, if it's sad or down or depressed, you need to acknowledge that to yourself. And maybe try to figure out why, so that you can just, I don't know, it's just so mellow. Everything is mellow, like there's no interest. So that says that there could be just a cutoff or a disengagement. I mean, does that make sense to you right now?
Yes.
Faith, thank you so much for the phone call, and I'm sorry to cut this short. And listen, if you've been on hold and we weren't able to get you on, stay on hold. After the program, we're going to take some information from you so that you can contact Rebecca, or Rebecca will contact you individually and have a reading for you, because we're just out of time, Rebecca.
Yeah, no, that sounds like a deal. Last time we did this, actually, I went and got on and I drew I think Lalanya, drew some names from those people, and I did a bunch of readings for them.
Well,
on YouTube.
I know we still have a couple of people that have been waiting very, very patiently, so we'll make sure they get a reading. So, again, if you're on hold right now, stay on hold. Slick Eddie or Alex will pick up the phone and get some information from you.
Yeah, thanks so much for coming and hanging out with us, Rebecca. It's been just a wonderful time like usual, and we'll definitely be having you on again next month.
Yes, thanks a lot, Jason. Thanks, JV. I really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. It's always a blast.
You got a great night. All right, so we're going to take a quick break. And again, if you're on hold, stay on hold, and let's let Slick Eddie get your information so we can connect you with Rebecca.
Please support the program. Go to patreon.com/Johaw. That's JOHAW. Well, like last night, we had Joshua Warren on, and he was just like confusing us. I mean, like making our brains
my brain
work
hurt after that.
Yeah, over time.
Thing is, my brain hasn't had to work for the last 2 hours.
Yeah, see, so that makes you sleepy.
So it's just like, why am I here? I could be in bed. So again, tomorrow night, remember, every Friday is a best of Beyond Reality Radio. And then next week, we've got some great guests. Monday, we've got Mark Albert coming on. Tuesday, we got Randall Sullivan, writer, The Legendary Treasure on Oak Island. And you might have
you just said you've seen him.
Yeah.
He's actually been on the program.
Yeah, he has. He's been on the show.
That'd be cool.
And he's the guy who's writing a book on the place. And, well, ta-da. I mean, he's going to be on next week, and we're going to be talking about it.
Ta-da.
So, ta-da. So, magic. But anyway, so make sure you tune in. We got a bunch of great shows coming up. But that's going to pretty much do it for us tonight. Again, head over to Facebook.com/Beyond Reality Radio. Like that Facebook page for us. Then head to BeyondRealityRadio.com. Find all our stations, grab the apps, and much, much more. But have a great night, everybody. We'll catch you all soon.
Beyond Reality Paranormal is hosted by J.V. Johnson and produced by Orion Palmer and Slick Eddie Edwards. Like us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please consider supporting the program either through your podcast platform, click on the link in the description, or on Patreon at Johaw Productions. If you'd like to be a guest on Beyond Reality Paranormal, or you have a recommendation for a guest, contact our producer, Slick Eddie Edwards. Eddie is spelled with a Y at slickeddieedwards@gmail.com.